Okay, so anyone else? Sisters? Want to be volunteer?
I can, madam.
Okay, bagus. Nabila.
عن ابن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما أعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى فمن كان هجرته إلى الله ورسوله فهجرته إلى الله ورسوله ومن كان هجرته للدنيا يصيبها أو امرأة ينكحها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه.
Okay.
Daripada Umar bin Khattab radhiyallahu anhu berkata, aku mendengar Rasulullah SAW bersabda, sesungguhnya setiap perbuatan itu disertakan dengan niat dan kita harus mengikut apa yang kita niatkan. Jika kita niatkan hijrah kita itu kerana Allah dan Rasulnya, maka hijrah kita itu kerana Allah dan Rasulnya. Jika kita niatkan hijrah kita itu kerana harta dunia ataupun wanita yang kita ingin nikahi, maka hijrah kita itu berdasarkan apa yang kita niatkan.
Okay, yes. Okay, very good. So, anyone else? Pak, siapa lagi? Or anyone want to share the summary of the hadith? What's the lesson that you can get from the hadith? Pak, senang je kan hadith ni? Senang je. Okay, cepat. Izzat.
Yes, saya madam.
Okay, cepat.
Nak summary ke?
You nak recite ada hadis pun boleh, nak summary pun boleh.
Ya, saya recite madam. Okay, so an Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu qala sami'tu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam yaqul innama a'malu binniyat wa innama likulli imri'in ma nawa faman kanat hijratuhu ila dunya yusibuhuma au ila mar'atin yankihuha fahijratuhu ila ma kharaja ilaihi. Umar bin al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu said, I heard Allah's messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, the reward of deed depends upon the intention, and every person will get the reward according to what he has intended. So whoever immigrates for worldly benefits or for a woman to marry, his immigration will be for what he immigrated for.
Okay, that's all. Just the first point is faman hijratuhu ilallah wa rasulihi tu. Siapa yang berhijrah, those who wanted to migrate for the because of Allah and the Prophet, then he will get it. Okay, so the first intention must be because of Allah, and second one because of other things, which including the example here, the women's, and then we will get it. Okay, so the first intention must be because of Allah, and second one we can do any objective or intentions, but if we just intend to for the second one other than Allah and Rasulullah, we only can get it. Okay, so okay, anyone else? Because now is the month of the Prophet Maulid Nabi, isn't it? Okay, we should remember the Sirah, the Prophet, which including we try to memorize the Hadith. If we just say that we love Rasulullah, so what's the proof? What's the proof that we say we love Rasulullah? Then so how many hadiths of the Prophet that we have memorized, we have practiced? Okay, so if we can memorize the hadiths, even one, that's a good. Lot of hadiths, thousands of hadiths, isn't it? Thousands, lot of hadiths. But where is the proof that we say we love Rasulullah? Okay, and then try to do some effort to memorize the hadith. Okay, you can try to find the 40 hadith. 40 hadith that's simplified by the scholars. Okay, the 40 hadith, and then try to read the hadith and memorize and practice it. Okay, like this, the first hadith about intentions. So practice it. Kan? Uh, so far we have born in this world 30 years, 25 years, 24 years. So how many hadith that we have memorized? Kan? So ask ourselves, where is the proof that we said we love Allah, we love Rasulullah, we love Allah by memorizing the Quranic verses, and then we love Rasulullah by memorizing the hadith. Okay, start hafal hadith. Okay, ingat sampai bila-bila. Okay, then if we have children, and then educate them, share with them the hadith. Okay, and especially for this month, maybe you can just recall back the Sirah Rasulullah, find the book about the history, zaman Rasulullah, how Rasulullah received the wahyu, kan, the Al-Quran, and then what happens to the Prophet during his life, then we can appreciate it. Okay, memanglah budak-budak je yang belajar. Masa kita dah lama kan, it's about long time ago we learn about the sirah, but now it's forgotten. Kan? So try to appreciate our prophet, okay, by recall back the sirah and read the sirah book. Okay? And then with related to this course, so please memorize the Quranic verses, the hadith that we learned in this class. Okay? Okay, so with that, let's start our class. Let's start our class today. Okay, thank you for the the contributor, the students we have presented today, presented the hadith. Okay, let's start our class with Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, I will present the the slide. Okay, so far any questions or anything that you want to share? Tak ada. Anyone? Nak say something? Tak nak tanya khabar madam ke?
Madam apa khabar?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, syukur. So we accept whatever that Allah has planned to us, and then with the acceptance, insyaAllah hidup kita akan tenang. Ya, reda. Okay, if we always think about all the tests, ujians, all the obstacles, the problems, then meaning that we are not accept whatever that has a plan. Basically, that's the best for us. Okay, we accept everything and we move on and only things positive. Okay, whatever happens in our life, there is a barakah, there is a reward that Allah wanted to give to us. Okay, think positive, insyaAllah we can see all the light. Baru nampak the way, the straight way, the straight path that Allah wanted to show to us. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So you maybe during the class you may turn in the attendance for today. We are in week 3 already. Okay, mana awak punya slide ni? Maxim 1. Where is the Maxim 1? Tak ada. Maxim one?
Ada kat bawah sekali kat view more.
Okay, sebab ada ni. Sekejap. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I have mentioned in the first class that there are 5 main maxims that agreed by all mazahib. We have 4 mazhab kan? Mazhab Syafi'i, Hambali, Maliki and Hanafi. So, and then each mazhab ni have come up with their maxims. Basically, their maxim is not opposite with the Sharia. That is why because Islam's allow innovations lah, new ideas and then the previous scholars also have come up with innovations in structuring or offering the Islamic legal maxims because they will help or assist to solve any issues that appear during their times and also the coming issues that appear in our time. Okay, so innovation is encouraged in Islam. That is why each mazhab come up with different maxims to solve the problems, people problems. And then this mazahib have agreed on 5 maxims. So we will discuss these five maxims lah because it agreed by all. Okay, so the first maxim that agreed by them was maxims related to intention. Okay, so intention is very important. Before we do anything, it for sure will start with intentions. Okay, whether the intentions we realize or not realize the intentions. Sometimes we do not realize our intentions because intentions can be maybe measured internally in our heart. Sometimes we realize and we said it in words. Okay, but sometimes without realize we just do it. But inside our heart we have some things or we have a certain intention why we do that. Okay. Okay, so the first maxim here, al-umuru bimaqasidiha. Okay, al-umuru bimaqasidiha. So two important points here. Okay. Two important points here, al-umuru and maqasidiha. B means ba here means with. Okay, or by. Matters are determined by intention. Al-umuru is matters. From the word amar, amrun, one matter. Umur, it is jama' or plural, it becomes matters, meaning a lot of things are matters. Bimaqasidiha, matters basically is determined or come with the intentions. So whatever we do, basically it come with intention. So here is one. Okay, purpose, aim, resolutions. Okay, a matter is judged by intention. Okay, the scholars have identified 5 phases in the formations of intentions. Either we realize or not, there are 5 level before the intentions comes to becomes an action. Okay, so the first one, the first level is hajis. We call it as hajis. What is hajis? Initial occurrence of an idea in the heart or mind. Just one tick, 1 second, the idea comes in our heart that we want to do that. Let's say 1 second, the idea comes that, for example, say that, okay, we want to come to the class. We want to join the online meeting. That's it. Okay, initial idea. And second one is khatir, when the idea runs through the mind. So you think about, okay, I want to join the online meetings, and then what I should prepare. Okay, join online meetings and then maybe do some revisions. Okay, memorize hadith on intention. The idea runs through the mind. Hadith announced the internal assessing of pros and cons, but still undecided. Okay, okay, wanted to join the online meeting. Okay, need to memorize the intentions. Then maybe madam will ask. Assessing pros and cons. Madam will ask. Okay, I can be a silent listener. I want to become a volunteer to memorize the hadith. And then what then? Okay, I will become. It will prepare me to for the exams later on if I memorize the hadith now. And then it will help me to understand the maxims better. Okay, assessing pros and cons. What list of pros and list of cons? Okay, and then when intentions to commit becomes dominant over refraining from it. From the hadith announced here, the third level, you will list down how many pros, good, the effect, the good effect, and then cons. If the good effect or the pros is more than the bad effect, the cons, and then you will decide. So okay, I think it's better for me to join the online meeting because many pros compared to the cons, contrary, And then azam. When intentions becomes the determination, yes, I am confident to attend the online meetings because your heart, your mind already examines or assess the pros and cons. Another thing is in assessing the pros and cons, it will relate to your iman. You believe, okay, whether you have a strong or weak iman. If you have a weak iman, it will influence by the shaitan. Shaitan will just present all the good things. Okay, and good things of committing something bad, or all the negative things in committing something good. The opposite lah. Syaitan will influence you. Okay. So these are the five. Sometimes we realize, sometimes we do not realize. We just do it. Okay. The good thing is if we realize before these five stages, before we commit to do the action. Okay. Okay. So phase 1 occurs involuntarily, beyond control. Just take 1 second. Thus Allah will not hold one accountable for it. This one just like the hadith here, Allah has excused my ummah. The hadith from Prophet Muhammad SAW. The Prophet said Allah has excused my ummah for what they say to themselves internally at this stage. Okay, as long as they do not act upon it or speak it aloud, we have intention. But if this one relate to the maybe the negative thing, but if we have intentions to do something good, it's already counted for us because we are the umat of the prophet. But if we intend to do something bad, it's not written yet. It's not written yet. But after we do actions, we commit the actions, then it will written for us. Okay. Okay. What else? So Ibn Qayyim said, intention is the essence of every matter. It pillars and the foundation on which it is based. It is foundations. The intention itself, the foundation of the action. It is the soul and the leader of actions. That is why in the hadith, the Prophet said, if we intend to to say to do something for the sake of women, then our action will lead to it. We will achieve it. Okay, that is why intention is the leader of an action. It will lead us to perform certain action. And then action follows it and are based upon it. So motive, intention and belief can make any matter legal or illegal, valid or invalid, obedience or sin. Okay. So legal or illegal, it depends on the situation, the matters, valid or invalid, the matters also. Like say valid and invalid, we perform solat. Okay. If we want to perform Zohor prayer, but our intention is we do a niyah to perform Asar prayer, so the prayer is become invalid, isn't it? Okay. Obedience and sin, this one matters related to the maybe the pillars of iman. Then we will be sinful if we commit some things related to iman, the pillars of iman. Legal or illegal may be related to the contract, the Islamic contract. Our intentions to cheat the buyer, for example. So it become illegal lah if we have such intentions, then the contract can be void. Okay. So, and the key functions of intentions from Sharia perspective. So, intentions will differentiate acts of worship and customary acts. Is very important. Like we enter into mosque, and then we just do assignment, like you always go to, you are a mosque and do some discussion, isn't it? Do discussions with your friends to complete your assignment. Okay. If you have such intentions only, okay, to do discussion, it's become a customary acts lah. Customary acts that it is your usual. Usually the students, UAS students will go to the mosque to do discussions. No pahala, no rewards. But if you the same things happen, you do discussion at UAA mosque, but you also have intentions to for the sake of Allah. If you sit, we enter into mosque,
Itikaf.
Iktikaf. You have intentions to do iktikaf for the sake of Allah, and at the same time you do discussion with your friends, then you will be rewarded. Okay. Okay. And the clear other example, like you do your you go to the mosque, okay, and then you do like exercise like the action, like you do rokok exercise, you do movement like the prayer movement. Okay. But you do not perform any recite or perform any intentions to do the prayer, then it becomes only exercise. Okay, only exercise without any saying any intentions to perform any prayer lah. Okay. But if you have recite the intentions, usalli farda asri zuhri, something like that, then it become a prayer. If not, it becomes exercise, because a prayer is also some the movement is exercise, isn't it? Okay. So it will differentiate the worship and the customary acts. Also with a fasting, kan? Fasting nak diet, it is not ibadah. Okay, but if we fast for the sake of Allah, we perform the very the right niyah or intentions, then it becomes a act of worship, the fasting. And then entitlement to reward from Allah. We relate to the example that I give to you. If we do a niyah or intention, then we will be rewarded. If not, no. It only becomes a customary acts. Our normal act lah, exercise, diet, we apa namanya, take care of our food intake, okay. And then customary acts will with proper intentions lead to act of worships. Yalah, customary acts with proper intentions lead to act of worship. Like you love to give to assist your neighbor, for example, give them food, assist them to move things or furnitures. It is customary acts. But if you have intentions, just would like to help them and because of Allah, and then it also can be rewarded. Okay. And apa nama dia lagi? Like exercise also, the prayer movement. Okay, if we perform prayer, the movement is the right movement, right intentions, it becomes act of worship. Yeah, and then act of worship without proper intentions will not receive reward from Allah. Okay, proper intentions. Fasting need to have a proper intentions. Prayer need to have proper intentions. Go to Mecca for pilgrimage, yeah. Haji, perform Hajj. Okay, do a tawaf around the Kaabah. If you do not have a proper intentions, no reward, then it not becomes act of worship. Okay, so intention is very important, especially for the matters that related to worship, matters related to the pillars of Islam. Okay, the pillars of Islam. Like if we recite Shahadah, just recite the Shahadah, the sentence of Shahadah, without having intentions to really accept and realize that Allah is our God, the only God, and then the Prophet Muhammad is the companions, then it not becomes a worship lah, not Shahadah lah. That's it, like becomes a normal act, like reciting a normal sentence. Then it will not be accepted. Okay, because intentions basically coming from inside us, from our faith, our heart. Okay, this one example lah. Okay, I give more than this. The example just now. And then intention in act of worship, not contravene the objective of the Sharia. This one, when we perform intentions that related to act of worship, like a solat, it should not be contravene with the objective of the Sharia. Like if we fast, and then we fast because of something else that opposite to the Sharia. We fast because of other people that ask us, because of other people challenge us to fast. So it is not the objective of the Sharia. Okay, so objective of the Sharia to ask us for fasting because we are a Muslim, we want to we want to perform the pillars as a Muslim, our responsibility, and for the sake of Allah. Okay, not for the sake of other things. Then it become a shirk. If we do fasting because of we want to achieve something, it's become syirik lah. Okay, so for example, we fast because of we want to success in exam. It is a act of syirik that we do not realize. Basically, the intention why we want to fast is because of Allah, not because of exam, not because of other intentions. Okay, we want to get a token from the authority or from the lecturer, for example. There is act of syirik actually. Syirik is what is syirik? We set a niyyah because of other things. Okay, we worship other things. Okay, not Allah. Huh? And then clear and ambiguous. So when we recite intention in worship, so the intentions must be clear and ambiguous. Intentions can be two forms. Intention is inside our heart, and also intentions in our word saying, verbal intention. So in performing the ibadah, worship methods, so you basically we are asked to do the intention verbally and internally. Uh, so the verbal intention must be clear and ambiguous. So must be parallel inside and outside. The verbal and internal intention must be clear and uh, unambiguous, not ambiguous. So specific to the act that intended to do, like a prayer. Okay. Do not have too ambiguous intention at the same time. Like inside our heart, we want to perform a normal prayer, but we verbally said that we want to perform jama' or kasar. So these two must be parallel, same at the same time. Okay. So one act, one intentions. Basically, in matters related to ibadah, always in obligatory acts like solat, fastings, not a one intentions and two act. You say you want to perform prayer and you want to perform to fast at the same time. Then you combine usalli farda asri and apa nama dia, niat berpuasa apa dia, nawaitu saumaradin. You combine two intentions to perform two actions. Cannot. Okay. So one intention, one act. If you want to fast, then intentions to fast. Nawaitu saumaradin. Then I want to perform a fasting tomorrow, for example. You cannot combine fasting and the prayer at the same time. Okay. So far, any question?
Madam,
Yes.
I have one question related to the financial product. They say that in murabaha, in our meaning to get the financial, right? To get finance, but in the contract we said that we do the sale contract.
Buying.
So what your opinion?
Okay. So I will discuss later. Ni advanced question ni. Good question, advance. InsyaAllah we'll discuss in after this when we discuss example related to financial contract. Okay. Bagus soalan. At least you think. Okay. Okay. And then altering the intentions out and loud. Macam mana? So the issue of whether we compulsory for us to say it out and loud. Like say nak perform prayer, nak cakap is it can we just recite the intentions inside our heart without saying it loud, kan? Then some people love to say it loud because they wanted to ensure they are confident enough to perform the prayer. Cakap kuat-kuat usalli, and then other people that beside them heard about it. Okay. So what's the scholar said? The first one, all jurists agreed that it is not required. It is not required to to say the intention out and loud as it is from heart. Okay, because intention is actually from our heart. Okay, but then pronouncing, according to Shafi'i scholars, the pronouncing the intention is recommended. It's recommended as it support the heart's intent. Disuruh, encourage, because it support. We want to be a confidence with our intentions. If that's so, then it is encouraged for us to say it loud. But given that it will not disturb others lah, kan? Hambali not recommend to say the intention loud, out and loud. Maliki permitted but not recommend. Okay, Maliki not recommend but it is permitted. So in summary, if it distract or disturb others' concentration, better not to perform the intention out and loud. But if we are alone at the most, then okay lah. Nobody will listen, will not disturb anybody. Okay. If it reinforces a person's intention, then it is recommended. Because we are different, some people doesn't need to be supported by the the verbal saying the intentions, then okay. But some people need that to become certain with the intention, so it is encouraged. Then apa dia punya jawapan dia? The answer is we ask ourselves, we know ourselves. So what is the things or what the actions that can make us confident and then certain with our intentions to perform the ibadah, especially lah. Okay, because this matter related to ibadah. Ibadah is very important. We must be certain, we must be confident and clear on all the intentions that we want to do, all the intention and action that we want to do for the sake of Allah. Okay, for the sake of Allah. Supaya the reward later on, we can get the reward. If it is not clear at the very beginning, then how? Macam mana? How about the reward? Is it we have right to receive the reward if we are not confident enough, or we are not certain with our intentions? So macam mana? And then another thing is to eliminate or to avoid the shaitans, okay, to disturb us when we are performing the ibadah. Sebab dah awal-awal lagi not certain, dah berselaru, fikiran dah berselaru, niat lari ke mana, the intention is not certain, not confident, so easy for the syaitan to come and disturb us during the sessions, the ibadah lah. Okay, if we are confident and then the concentration is there, and then we can focus because we are certain on our intention that we want to perform this prayer, the prayer because of Allah. Nobody can disturb us. This is our focus. Okay, but if the focus at the very beginning is already disturbed, is already uncertain, so kacau lah, banyak. Okay, easy for the syaitan to come. Okay, then now intention in muamalah, the transaction. So intention in the transaction is judged according to the manifested evidence. Usually, intention in transaction, there will be evidence because the parties that we are transacted with is actually human beings, not is human being lah. They want to see the proof of the muamalah, the proof that saying we are agree. So where is the proof? You mention you agree, then you should sign this part to show your agreement. And you have to tick this one about the disclosure of information, for example. Okay, need to show the proof. Okay, in muamalah lah, transaction. The first one, evidence is provided through disclosure, a certain disclosure lah, any information disclose. Disclosure where to disclose? In agreement, in the contract, okay, in the form. Like say we want to open a deposit account, a bank deposit account. So the banker will give us a certain form to fill up. And then after that, before we sign, signature is also one of it. Before we sign, we have to take the disclosure. You are, for example, all the information disclosed here are right. Okay. So any wrong information is deemed in any wrong information given in the form can make the contract void. So there is a statement of disclosure, okay, from the customer. And then it is also represent the intentions of the customer. They wanted to open the account book. So they have to abide with a certain rules or certain requirements, like say fill up all the details in the form. And then indicators and circumstances to indicate lah, like say agreement per selling house agreement. So to indicate that the house is sold based on the current condition, or the house is sold based on the after renovation is done. So all the indicators, syarat-syarats, so must be there. So and then the parties must sign, okay, to show their agreement and then to make their intentions to buy the house, for example, certain. And then deduce from the context, like the context of agreement between buyer and seller, and then after that they summarize that okay, the buyer agree to buy. So agree to buy. So the proof is certain need to sign agreement, need to sign a booking form, for example. Okay, and the intentions also apa nama dia, the motive, show the motive of transaction, the intentions lah. Okay, like say deposit apa, to open deposit account at bank. So just fill up the forms related to the deposit account, and then apply credit card. So fill up the form, credit card application forms. So it show the motive, like the objective of that, the transaction, why we want to approach the bank. Is it we want to apply for credit card, or we want to apply home financing, vehicle financing? They have a certain forms provided for such intentions. Okay, the motive lah, or objective of the transaction must be there. Okay, atas sekali apa sentence of the form, the title of the form is already stated the intention, the objective of that transactions. Okay, 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 and then I think I have mentioned that all the maxims basically were derived from certain Quranic verses and also hadith. Okay, hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, like this hadith about niyah from Umar al-Khattab. Okay, innamal a'malu binniyah. Okay, the hadith that you have memorized. Okay, I think do you want me to explain about the hadith, or it is clear? Therefore, whose migration was for the Allah and Rasulullah, his migration is for Allah and Rasulullah. And whose migration was to achieve some worldly gain or to take a woman in a marriage, then his migration is for what he migrated for. So they only can get whatever they intended to do, to have. Okay, dapat tu saja. And then in Al-Quran surah At-Taubah This Surah Ar-Rum. Surah At-Taubah, verse 97, 98. The Badawins are the worst in disbelief and hypocrisy and more likely to be in ignorance of the limits, Allah's commandment and His legal laws, which Allah has revealed to His messenger, and Allah is all-knower, all-wiser. And of the Badawis, there are some who look upon what they spend in Allah's cause as a fine and watch for the calamities for you. On them be the calamity of evil, and Allah is hearer or all-knower. Okay. So basically these two verses explain what I understand from the verse is basically about the hypocrisy, disbelief and hypocrisy. Okay. So basically there are groups of people during the prophet times. Okay, the Badawi ni is hypocrisy. Do you know what is hypocrisy? Hypocrisy is like in this example is Badawin in front of Rasulullah. They say that yes, Rasulullah has brought for us a good religions, and Allah is the one God. And then, but on Rasulullah's back, okay, because they hypocrite in front of Rasulullah they say yes, but at Rasulullah's back they say something else, the opposite things. They do not believe, they do not believe Rasulullah, they do not believe Islam. Okay, and more likely to be the ignorant. That is why this verse said the Badawin are the worst in disbelief. They do not believe. And hypocrisy. Okay, hypocrisy and more likely to be in ignorance of the limits which Allah has revealed to His messenger. Okay, on Rasulullah's back, they say something else, then backbiting lah. And of the Badawin, there are some who look upon what they spend in Allah's cause as a fine and watch for the calamities for you, and then be the calamity of evil, and Allah is all the hearer and all knower. What they spend in Allah's cause as a fine. And the Badawin, because they are hypocrite, Rasulullah asked them to make a charity, to give zakat. Okay, they give, but they say that they make it as a fine, as a fine, and watch for the calamities for you. They always apa nama dia, apa maksud dia, watch for calamities for you, and then be the calamity of evil. They do something cause bad things to calamities is apa nama disaster kan, disaster or problems. Okay, so they spend not because of Allah, they give us not because of Allah, but they just wanted to bring bad things, okay, to the people. Okay, the Badawin. But as we know that the Quranic verse is not only meant for the Badawin, for the people during the prophet times. Okay, these are the lesson. Then we have to see these verses, okay, related to our time nowadays. Okay, then some people in front of us they are good, but on our back they are different. This one lah hypocrisy. Their intentions, okay, their intentions. Basically inside their heart is something else. Even though in front of us they assist us, give us money, but on our back they have different intentions why they help us. Isn't it? Maybe they want to seek, they give us money. Maybe they want to seek other things, like maybe in a company, why the subordinate just keep past the boss. They just puji, okay, you are very good, but basically they wanted to have something else. Okay, so relate to the intentions inside a people heart. Okay, they spend not because of Allah. Okay, they spend because of something else. Why they do a good thing to us? Because of they have other intention. Okay, don't becomes like this Badawin. The worst disbelief and hypocrisy. And Surah Ar-Rum verse 39. Wama Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wama ataitum min riba liyarbu liyarbu fi amwalin nas fala yarbu indallah wa ma ataitum min zakah turiduna wajhallah faulaika humul mud'ifun. And that which you give in gift to others, wa ma ataitum min riba liyarbu fi amwalin nas, in order that it may increase your wealth by expecting to get a better one in return from other people's property, has no increase with Allah, but that which you give in zakah seeking Allah's countenance, then those they shall have manifold increase. Okay, so what's the lesson that we can get from this verse is some people, they have intentions that if we do a lot of charity, assist others, then Allah will increase our wealth. Okay. Okay, in order, and that which you give to others, in order it may increase your wealth by expecting to get a better one in return from others' property. There's no increase with Allah, maksudnya tak ada reward pun. But that which you give in zakah, seeking Allah's countenance, then those they shall be manifold increase. So whatever we do, we help others, we give money, we give charity, is not, it shouldn't be because of we want to become a rich people. Okay, I think I observe many advisors, many advice from outside there, saying that if you want to become a rich people, then you have to do a charity. That's wrong. That's wrong. We do a charity because of Allah, not because of, if we have such intentions to become a rich people and we have to do a lot of charity. That such intention is not increased in the sight of Allah. Maksudnya no, will not be rewarded. Kita kena ni lah. Maksudnya no reward. It is not sincere. They give charity because of to become rich, because of themselves. Maksudnya pentingkan diri lah. It is indirectly. The intention is it is not seen. We can say it is good. In order to become rich, we do a lot of charity. That's basically a syirik. Because of we do charity because of something else, not because of Allah. Okay, so the intention must correct. We do charity for the sake of Allah. Then the rest will give to Allah. Not we do charity to become a rich. Because I also banyak sangat nasihat like that. Have you observed the same with me, students?
Yes, madam.
Banyak macam tu kan? Tolong orang, baru jadi kaya. Kan?
Yes.
If you want to become rich and then do charity. That's a wrong intentions. We do charity for the sake of Allah. Because Allah asks us to do charity to assist others, not to assist ourselves. Okay. And then one hadith from Anas, another hadith, there is no deed for one who has no intention. No intentions, no deed. So supposed to have intentions lah. Okay. Okay, we come to the example. Then after that, we'll answer the questions. Okay. Two context of example here from the fiqh or from the daily activities, the fiqh issues here. For example, in the case of murder, if the killer have intentions to commit the murder, so the hakims or the decisions of the court is qisas. Okay, qisas lah. What is qisas? What is kisas?
Punishment based on what? Based on same crime.
Kill back. They should be killed if they have intentions to commit the murder. Kill back, kisas. Unintentional. Dia. What is dia?
Pay the money to his family.
Fine. Penalty.
Compensation?
Yeah, compensation. Dia is compensations. Okay, or penalty lah, bayar balik penalty to the victims or to the victim's family. Okay. Okay, so the court decisions, Islamic court decisions. Okay, if the killer commit these crimes intentionally, so dia punya hukuman dia is kisas. So different hukum, different decisions for intention, based on intention. Buying a property as a home. We buy a house to stay, not zakatable. No need to pay zakat for buying the house, for owning the house. But if we buy a house and we make investment, we rent it out, we sell the house, so it is zakatable. We must pay zakat on the gross of the price of the house, or the profit that we make from the housing investment. Okay. So tengok pada intention. What is our intention to buy the house? Is it for to stay or for investment? Okay. So the result also different. Okay. And then break fasting during Ramadan intentionally is a great sin. But unintentionally it is forgiven and need to replace the fasting, as in Surah Al-Baqarah, kan? Verse 1 at 5 or 1 at 6. Okay, so hadith from Ibn Hazm story in Al-Muhallan. Okay, Ali bin Abi Talib radhiyallahu anhu give punishment to the person who breaks in the months of Ramadan in, for example, Atta bin Abi Maryam from his father that Najashi was sent to Ali bin Abi Talib because he drank kham in Ramadan. Ali beat him 80 times. Then tomorrow 20 times. 100. Ali said, we beat 20 times because of your striving to Allah. Okay. So intentionally and unintentionally. So the result will be different. The punishment is different based on intentions in matters related to the worship in fiqh matters. Okay. And is in Islamic finance, for example, the first example is intentions of shareholders or investor to, okay, check ya, zakatable or not, intentions of shareholder and investor. So in a company, okay, in a company, basically, if to start the company, to accumulate or pool the capital for to start the company, there will be an investor or shareholder. Okay, so investor, their intention is to invest. So the profit of the business, because the profit of the business is profit from their investment, is zakatable. Okay, but if this shareholder can becomes a manager or the one that run the business. If they run the business, meaning that they are not only invest but they run the business, so they are not no need for them to pay zakat. Okay, because they run the business, not only invest. Okay, but if one people come just give money to invest, so the profit that earn from the investment is zakatable for the investor, because profit usually is calculated based on the money invested to the company kan, not the whole company's profit, but the amount of investment is zakatable. Okay, but for the shareholder can become independent and dependent shareholder. If independent shareholder, it's similar with the investor, meaning that they are not involved with the business. So they also become investor also lah. So their incomes is zakatable. But if the shareholder is dependent shareholder, meaning that they becomes they apa join the company, they lead the company, they manage the company, so their income is not zakatable. Okay, because they already involved with the company. Huh? Okay, and then second one, inah sale, buy inah. Do you still remember what is buy inah? Ingat
Yeah.
lagi tak? Buy inah tu apa?
Buyback sale.
Apa maksudnya? Okay, give me example of Islamic banking product that have buy inah contract.
Murabaha.
What types of product? In buy inah there is murabaha lah, because murabaha is markup sale, markup price kan. Produk apa tu?
Land?
Ya?
Land.
Land?
Tanah.
Produk apa tu? Land financing.
House.
So madam, by Abitul
Produk.
Majid. No.
Islamic banking products yang guna buy inah.
Buying a property.
Buying property. Buying property like property, we have a vehicle, we have a home. We have vehicle financing based on ijarah, al-ijarah summa al-bay'. And home financings, we have previously BBA, nowadays a tawaruk contracts, and home financings can be using musyarakah mutanakisah. So buy inah ni, I think you should differentiate. You should know clearly a list of Islamic banking products. Islamic banking product, they have three contexts of products. The first one is saving products, okay, and second one is financing product, and third one is investment products. Okay, tiga je. Okay, saving, financing, investment. Saving, they have a normal deposit account, they have a fixed account saving, and then each saving ni, what are the types of contract, syariah contracts applicable. And then financings, only three types of financings. They have vehicle financings, home financings, and maybe a business financings, microfinancings ke apa untuk business. Financings to buy a car, vehicle. Financings to buy a house. Home financing. Financings to extend the business. Business financing. Other thing is personal financing. Personal financing. Okay, personal financing is financing to buy any personal things lah. But they have a list of objective of personal financing, like we want to, tapi biasanya they say personal financing, they just give us a money. Usually it is a very small amount of money, maybe less than 100k for personal financings, like we want to settle debt, like we want to get married, personal financings, like we want to buy a house, but we want to just use personal financing because the house is not expensive, below 100k, just use a personal financings. Okay, and for personal financing is short period of financings, less than 10 years. House financing usually 25 years, 30 years. Okay, period of financings. longer because the price of the house is expensive. Okay, Bainah ni, where is which product? Bainah basically is a practice in credit card. Credit card is considered under, I think, personal financing lah. Other types of financing is credit card financing. Okay, credit card using Bainah. Credit card is actually financing. It is advanced by the banks to the customer. But this advancement is given to the customer. It depends on the usage of the card. At the first, when the bank approved to give the customer a credit card, they just put a one amount of maximum financing that the bank can give to the customer. Usually 5K, 10K, 15K. Tapi yang dapat gold credit card tu maybe 50K. It depends on the customer salary lah. Because to apply the credit card, the customer need to show the salary slip. But the worst scenario is the bank just offer like that without assessing with whether the customer have the eligibility, eligible or capable to bear such amount of financing, credit card amount or not. Okay, that's a worst things lah. Then it end up with the customer cannot pay, unable to pay all the debt later. Okay, so there is a certain amount that fix. The maximum you can use this credit card is up to 15K. So if after 15K, no, it's not valid anymore. So within 15K, the customer only can swipe maybe just, okay, if the customer swipe for 1,000 value of transaction, like nak beli telefon and then swipe credit card, so that's 1,000 is finance to the customer. So the customer responsible to pay 1,000 only. So ada balance lagi 14,000 for example. If the maximum value of the card is 15K, ada 14,000, then they can swipe lah. So the bank will total up. At the end of the month, the bank will total up how many utilization, how much you have utilized the card. Out of 15K we give to you, you just swipe maybe 100, maybe 3,000 or 5,000. So only pay that one. Okay, if you pay on time, just if you pay on time, they give you 1 week or 2 weeks to settle. If you swipe 1,000 morning and afternoon, you pay 1,000. No additional. Okay, no additional amount of interest. Okay, on that particular day. But if you extend next month bayar and you just pay the minimum, you swipe 1,000. But this month you only pay 100. For sure, next month you need to add to pay a certain amount of interest because you are not paying your debt in full 100% lah. 1,000 pay 1,000. Macam tu je. Usually credit card is to replace money that we have, not to create a debt. That's the one thing, because credit card is easy for us to bring the card. Basically, we bring money with us. If we have money 1,000, then we can swipe 1,000. But if we think that we do not have money 1,000, but we want to swipe 1,000, 3,000, and then have such intentions to pay later on, then that's very negative effect of credit card. Okay, credit card is just to replace money in the first place. We have money, we do not want to bring it cash in our hands, very dangerous. So we pay by credit card later on. After that we pay, we just transfer money to the bank, pay the 1,000. That's okay. But if become a debt, then it creates a worse impact to the people. Okay, then melalut pula madam. Okay, we go back to the buy in a sell. Macam mana ni in credit card ni? Okay, in buy in a sell, when the banks offer credit card to the customer, okay, through buy in a. Buy in a is sell, buy back selling. We sell something with intentions to buy back, sell and buy back. What types of sell is it? Let's say I want to sell you my laptop, but I inform you that I will buy back. And it happens at the same time. And then it is not a valid selling lah, usually, kan? What's the point if I said to you, okay, I want to sell you my laptop, but after that you need to sell back to me. What is actually the intention? Kan? Nak jual ke tak nak sebenarnya? That is why Baina is issue. Baina is a selling issue, selling contract that having issue. Because in real selling contract, it is transfer of ownership, that's it. I want to sell you my laptop and then you give me money, kan? 1,000 for example, then the ownership is transferred. That's it. Then we move forward, proceed with our life lah. You use that laptop, kan? That's a normal and valid buy and sell transaction. But buy ina is said, I want to sell you my laptop, but you should promise me to sell back to me after few minutes, after few seconds. Basically it's not happen lah. Maksudnya tak ada pun sebenarnya. The intention is not there to sell the laptop. Agree tak? Kan? That is buy ina. Okay, sell with intentions to buy back. Okay. And then in credit card actually, in credit card what happened that because credit card is offered to give customer, the main intention is to give customer money. Kan? Customer nak money kan? Nak customer wanted to have money, 15k for example, for the card 15k. Okay. So how the banks wants to make it Sharia compliant through buy and sell contract. So the banks will say to the customer, we sell to you this office space. Office space becomes a subject matter in Bainah. Office space, the bank office space lah, because in Islam we can only sell something that is owned by us. We cannot sell something that is not our own. Okay. So the ownership must belong to the seller on the first hand. So what the bank say, we want to sell you, is it pen? Not valid, not 15k kan? So the subject matter must be, the price of the subject matter must tally with the transaction. If 15k, they should find the subject matter that is valid for 15k. So what the banks do, usually the banks will say, we sell to you our office space. Office space, this space that represent 15k, but you have to promise to sell back because they basically do not want to sell the office space because it is their office kan, but you need to sell back to me. Okay, so first stage, if the customer will buy the office space with the banks with a debt, credit, okay, with a deferred payment. Okay, we sell to you this office space with deferred payment. The amount of value is 15k, but after that we transfer the ownership now belong to the customer. Then you have to sell back the office space to me. Then we pay you cash. We pay you on the spot 15k. Okay, so the result is the customer will receive 15k because the customer in the second stage of buy-in sell the office space to the bank give the customer money lah 15k. The money is represent the amount of credit card 15k. Okay, So the customer will bring 15k with them in the form of credit card. They can use the card just swipe because the card is valued with 15k. So the result of buy-in transaction is the customer, because in the first place the customer buy with a debt, deferred payment. Okay, deferred payment. So the end result of buy-in is the customer actually owed to the bank 15k and deferred payment, pay in a deferred. Okay, they bring the bank give the customer 15k value of credit card. When the customer swipe the credit card, they have to pay the credit card value, the transaction value in deferred. They can also pay it in cash lah. Okay, so why buy-ina is deemed invalid? Because intentions to buy back. In the first place, when the bank sell the office space to the customer, they have such intentions to buy back the office space. It is invalid. It is not a real buy and sell of transaction because they have intentions to buy back. That is why nowadays the Islamic bank no longer adopt these types of contract. Inah sale is no longer applicable. It create issues, Sharia issues on the intention. And then if by inah sale is done, no intentions to buy back, then it is valid. Okay, like say I sell to you my laptop, I don't have any intentions to buy back. But after a week, you said to me, you offer me, do you want to buy back your laptop because I need money? Okay, then I buy back my laptop from you. It is not my intentions to buy back at the first place. So then it's valid. Okay. Basically we can buy back our things if we wanted from the we want to buy back from the buyer. Okay, but to buy back that must be performed, maksudnya we shouldn't have apa nama the intentions in the very beginning when we sell our things to other people. Okay, later on boleh je sebab because of the ownership is already transferred to the other party. Okay, they have right to sell back the subject matter. But the very beginning, the intentions must not to sell and have intentions to buy back the subject matter. Okay, clear tak? Ke confused?
Clear, madam.
Yeah. Any questions related to Baina?
We'll ask in the WhatsApp.
Okay. WhatsApp. Nanti. Okay. Kat dalam ni pun boleh dekat chat box nanti. Okay, after this. And then the third. Dah pukul 10 ya? Okay. Okay, let me answer the question asked by one brother. One brother about the intentions of the apa nama dia? Apa soalannya? The Islamic bank involved with buy and sell contract, but the main intention is for financings, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So the main intentions of Islamic banking contract is give financing because that's their purpose, to become an intermediary. They are Islamic bank or any bank, they are intermediary. Basically they intermediary that becomes a collector of fund that will collect the fund from a surplus unit, and the fund that they collected, they will assist others. They will give financing. That their main business. Their business is to give financings, to receive a deposit from a surplus and give them a profit for investment. They are intermediary. Okay, because in Islam, now the bank, the intention is to help others that have a shortage of money, so that they give financings for the customer to buy house, to buy a vehicles. That their main business. So to give financings. So in Islam, when relate to the matters of financings, only one types of financing is allowed, which is Qardul Hasan. Meaning that if the banks finance the customer to buy 100k of a vehicles car, so the customer only have apa nama dia can is allowed to give back to the bank 100k, no additional on top of the financing given. We call it as a Qardul Hasan. If that's the case is practiced by the banks, how the banks can survive? Okay, so the bank as a business entity, they need to survive. That is why they need to add additional profit on top of the financing given to the customer. Okay, so that is why they find, because only one types of financing is allowed, which is Qardul Hasan. So they cannot adopt this contract in running the Islamic banking business. Okay, so they find other alternative. So that is why they found apa nama dia buy and sell contract. In buy and sell contract, they can sell the subject matter additional amounts to becomes a profit. That's why they apply a buy and sell contract in giving a financing. The thing is, they need to make it a very structured, well structured and fair enough to the customer and to the banks also to get a profit. Okay, so it is innovation in Islamic business, basically to assist the needy, to assist the others. So in this case, the bank cannot apa nama dia, take advantage over the customer. They cannot apa nama dia, that is why they cannot practice interest. Interest is triple apa nama dia, times of profit earned from the financing. Okay tak?
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay, welcome. So I think I have to stop here. Maybe you have class. Do you have class after this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so you can, I think you have clear with this, and then example that I give you, very long example related to maybe Islamic finance and fiqh that apa nama dia, that have elements of intentions. Okay, so because of intentions, the action, the judgment on the action is different. Okay, you can read the rest of the example. So I just end the class here. Unless you have any other apa nama dia, question. Okay, any other question? Tak ada. No questions. We end our class here with Surah Al-As in Tasbih Kifarah.